The idea of building a bridge connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans stretches back millennia, when explorers and nations were eager for direct trade routes. Ferdinand de Lesseps, best renowned for his work on the Suez Canal, tried a similar idea in the late 19th century. In 1880, he headed the Universal Company, which was tasked with building a 50-mile, 80-kilometer canal across Panama. De Lesseps envisioned drilling through Panama to establish this critical link between the oceans, which indicated the success of the Suez Canal. Panama, on the other hand, presented significant challenges that the Suez Project did not. There was a steep hill rising to about 100 meters above sea level and thick jungle surrounding it, making construction extremely difficult. The massive project faced numerous challenges, including severe weather patterns such as tropical cyclones, mudslides, and widespread illnesses like yellow fever and malaria, which destroyed the labor force. Tens of thousands of investors were left destitute, and over 20,000 workers died as a result of the company's bankruptcy in 1889, which was caused by financial mismanagement and a scandalous misappropriation of cash. The goal of creating a direct waterway connecting the seas remained unabated despite the French attempts at failure. With American support, the United States took over the canal project when Panama declared its independence from Colombia in 1904. American laborers and engineers started to construct anew, utilizing innovative techniques to fight tropical illnesses by vaccinating people. The 10-year construction project required the construction of artificial dams, most notably Lake Gatun, as well as a sophisticated system of gates and excavations. This was a difficult undertaking that cost a lot of money at the time, roughly $375 million. The Panama Canal, which connected the Atlantic and Pacific Seas and transformed worldwide maritime trade when it was finished in 1914, was a significant industrial achievement. So, in today's video, let's take a look into the economic history of Panama Canal. The Panama Canal is one of the most significant and influential engineering marvels in the history of international trade. By offering direct waterways between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, it removed the need for lengthy and dangerous expeditions across the southern tip of South America. It is an important route for international marine trade due to its favorable position, which significantly reduces shipping routes and transit times. When using the river as a conduit and provider of anything from container ships to bulk cargo ships, steamers, and passenger ships, it is easier to carry products, raw materials, and commerce across continents. By providing a faster route between the world's two main seas, it has altered the dynamics of international trade patterns, impacted shipping routes, and encouraged economic development. It has been a critical component of supply chain logistics, promoting cost-effective transportation and cutting costs for businesses operating in a wide range of multinational industries. Because Ferdinand de Lesseps' failed attempt to take over the project, the United States became the one to carry out the majority of the Panama Canal's construction and management. Throughout the 20th century, this enhanced American trade dominance and global influence. The role of water was critical in this. However, as part of a historic agreement, the United States finally handed up ownership of the river to Panama. This ownership transfer occurred in 1999, marking a watershed moment in Panama's history and national sovereignty. The canal's restoration to Panama was a historic event because it represented the country's independence and sovereignty over a vital economic and geopolitical asset. Following the acquisition of sovereignty, Panama is responsible for the canal's maintenance, management, and revenue, making it an important source of revenue for the country. Panama's economy benefits heavily from canal navigation taxes, which help pay social programs, infrastructure, and other government services. Signifies a historical shift in sovereignty while emphasizing the state's critical role in international trade and commerce on the high seas. The Panama Canal's effectiveness and performance are hampered by numerous challenges. Environmental consequences, particularly those caused by climate change, the need for larger boats, technological limits caused by size and design restrictions, and other variables have all been major problems. Notably, the river's water levels are declining due to drought, which is exacerbated by climate change.
The global effort to get goods to store shelves this holiday season could be slowed by a drought affecting the Panama Canal, one of the world's key shipping routes. The canal connects the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, allowing ships to avoid sailing around the tip of South America. 40% of all U.S. container traffic passes through it. Senior national and environmental correspondent Ben Tracy shows us how a lack of rainfall has created a crisis at the canal.
Canal authorities are forced to limit the amount and throughput of vessel sails due to operational challenges caused by the volume decline. These restrictions are in place to control the water supply while ensuring that containers can travel safely through. When it was recognized that larger ships needed to be accommodated and capacity needed to be expanded, a significant enlargement project began in 2016. The purpose of this extension was to improve the physical features of the canal by creating new locks that would allow larger ships, or Neo-Panamax ships, to pass through. Although the canal's capacity to accept larger ships was successfully enhanced by the enlargement project, the persistent problem of water scarcity has not been completely resolved. Despite these advances, the canal's overall operations and water supply remain under threat from longer and more frequent droughts caused by climate change. Numerous solutions have been proposed in response to the ongoing difficulties caused by water scarcity and climate change. One alternative approach is to construct additional water reservoirs to supplement the canal's water supply. Redirecting rivers or other water sources may be required to replenish the canal's reservoirs. However, putting these solutions into action will take a significant amount of time, money, and regulatory approval. Conservation measures and enhanced canal system water management procedures are another strategy. This could include reducing water waste during ship transits and making the most use of existing water resources. The Panama Canal is still in a vulnerable state today, plagued by ongoing problems caused by water scarcity that have a major effect on the canal's functioning as well as the lives of people who depend on it. Low water levels are becoming a serious problem for the canal as a result of extended and recurrent droughts, even with strenuous attempts to mitigate the effects of water scarcity. These lower water levels continue to make it more difficult for ships and other boats to pass through the canal smoothly, which causes operational problems, shipping schedule delays, and more logistical challenges for international trade. To summarize, the Panama Canal is at a crossroads in its history, facing a slew of challenges deriving from its unique geographic and environmental context, all of which are exacerbated by the unrelenting consequences of climate change. Despite prior attempts at enlargement aimed at increasing the canal's capacity and handling larger ships, the continuous issue of water scarcity remains a serious impediment. Long-term, creative solutions that strike a balance between the crucial requirement to preserve global commerce facilitation and the protection of communities' well-being and water sustainability are necessary to address these concerns. Additional conservation efforts, improved water management practices, and the implementation of infrastructure projects aimed at supplementing the canal's water supply are all feasible options. The ongoing battle against water scarcity at the Panama Canal emphasizes the critical need for early action, collaboration, and investments in sustainable practices to preserve the canal's vital role in international trade while also preserving the priceless resource it provides to both trade and the Panamanian people. Achieving this delicate balance is critical to ensuring the canal's continued usage as a crucial location in global trade and preserving its significance for future generations. And that's all for today's video. This is Visionomics, signing out.